mind me, I'm just doing some single leg ultimate sandbag snatches, no big deal. What I want to be talking about today is the single leg deadlift, the single leg hip hinge. A lot of people in the gyms, and I just know this because of my own personal experience in chasing this exercise, want to do this hip hinge where they keep their foot off the ground. And they think that by being able to lift a lot of weight, so by taking that hip hinge, going into my barbell deadlift, and I've got so many plates on each side that I should be pretty darn strong when it comes to this single leg exercise. So why is it so many people fail to be successful? If you walked into the gym one day and you lifted 100 pounds, and that was kind of like pretty heavy for you, and then you came back the next day and you're like, I'm going to lift 500 pounds. Doesn't that seem like a big jump in progressions? Doesn't that seem like a big jump in intensity? Well, changing your body position is exactly the same thing. So going from standing with both feet stable on the floor to this single leg exercise is going to throw everything off. So we have to have that better progression for our clients, for our people to understand how to do this well. So what I'm going to talk about with that then is not necessarily the single leg deadlift, but the sprinter stance. So we're so thankful for the DVRT universe to come through and reintroduce an old concept. Think about those Olympic athletes, especially, most importantly, those sprinters, right? Since it's a sprinter stance. What do? They take one foot and they slide it back and they elevate that heel. And why is that? Because then they get a better propulsion out of the blocks. So we call it that sprinter stance because we want you to have that imagery. We want you to have that feeling of being that sprinter. But a couple things I want to talk about is as I set up in that sprinter stance, I'm looking at my toes to be in line with that front heel, and then I'll just slide my feet out to shoulder width apart, somewhere where I feel comfortable. And it's not necessarily the fact that I pick up this back heel, it's that I push so hard into the ball of that foot. So when I go into something like my sprinter stance deadlift, I'm not just lifting up that heel. I'm driving the ball of that foot into the ground. As I slide in that hip hinge, that back foot is preventing me from shifting back. See, as soon as I do that, I put my back in a compromised position. I get this turn because that heel dropping, because I've lost that tension in that foot. But by pushing that foot into the ground, that keeps my hips stable. So when I come up, I've got some more things I need to fight. I'm trying to fight this frontal plane. I want to go side to side. I want to turn. So I'm learning how to resist those forces. And what a great progression from my bilateral feet shoulder width apart to moving into that sprinter stance that I can start adding more progressions. Before you know it, I can finally take my bag and go into my hip hinge, into my deadlift, into my power clean, into my whatever. So there you go. Having smarter solutions, not just throwing exercises on top of exercises, but giving you the right program, to give you the right formula so we can get you ready for the world, and not inside the gym, but the world outside the gym. Right? Right. You're welcome.